If you want to learn how to make this toggleable black and white effect in your Roblox game, make sure to stick around till the end of the video. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is go into your Explorer, wherever it is on your screen, and select the Starter GUI. It's going to be one of the first things you see, and then click this plus icon. You should see this menu. And then you're going to click on Local Script, and I'm just going to name this black, white. You can name it whatever you want. Now I'm just going to create a basic template for the script. I'm doing this so that if anything goes wrong, we can just go right to the problem, know where it is really easily. And connections. And the services we're going to need is the collection service. And I'll go into what that is in a second. And the user input service. Now, if you don't plan on making your black and white effect toggleable, which I would understand because that's just kind of weird, then you don't really need either of those services. But if you're looking to learn more about scripting, then I suggest that you stick around to the end anyway, because learning what the user input service and collection service is going to help you a lot down your development journey. Now, to actually create this effect, I'm going to start with making the non-toggleable version, and that basically works by creating a color correction effect element inside of the lighting service. So what I'm going to do is do local correction equals instance.new color correction effect lighting correction dot saturation equals -1, and this is basically just going to create the effect. Now I'm going to playtest, see if everything is in tip-top shape. Now, as you can see, black and white effect is on. Now is the part where we make it toggleable. And for all of you who want it just to be constant, I still suggest you watch till the end, because if you're making a game, collection service and user input service are extremely helpful to know. So anyways, I'm just going to delete this code now, and let's get into kind of what the collection service is and the user input service. Alright, so the collection service is basically a service that acts a little bit as a folder and a table. And basically, it allows you to add a tag to a certain object, so you can come back to it pretty easily, which is why it's going to be easy to make it like this and be able to store this color correction effect in this way. And that's that. The user input service, on the other hand, is used to detect inputs on the client. So it's pretty simple. It allows us to figure out when a certain key is pressed, or where the mouse is on the screen. There's a lot of things that this thing can do. But to make this toggleable, I'm just going to make it so when the player presses F, it's going to make it black and white. If they press it again, it's going to get rid of the effect. Anyways, let's start with that. So what I'm going to do is do user input service dot input began connect function input game processed event. And if game processed event is equal to true, then return. And what game processed event is, it's basically whether or not the person is typing a text box. And this is important, so it doesn't detect inputs while, let's say they're using the chat or something like that. And now what I'm going to do is if input dot keycode is equal to enum dot keycode dot f, then, and that's basically just going to check whether or not the person pressed F. And what I'm going to do is local correction equals instance.new color correction effect lighting correction dot saturation equals -1, and collection service add tag correction. Now that's going to apply the effect, but we also want to know how to basically get rid of it as well. So, what I'm going to do is if, and I'm going to go to local corrections with an S, so it's plural, equals collection service, get tagged. And now we're going to make a tag for these corrections. I'm going to create a new variable that's going to be local tag name equals correction. And this is going to be the string that is going to allow the game to identify whether or not an object is one of these color correction effects. I'm going to do tag name here and assign the tag here as well. I'm going to do if the number of corrections is greater than 0, meaning that the effect has already been applied because one already exists, then for underscore correction in pairs, corrections do correction destroy. And I'm going to do return because we don't want the code to reach here, or else it's just going to reapply the effect after we destroyed it, which isn't that great. And that should be the end of that code. So now I'm going to do a little test here. And I'm going to press F. Hold on. And as you can see, it's toggleable. I'm pressing F, and it's turning on, it's turning off, just like it should. Anyways, if you enjoyed the tutorial or you learned something new, remember to like and subscribe. It's completely free and it helps my channel a lot. Anyways, bye.